what a day it was for Justin Fields. His pro day yesterday in Columbus, and everyone was talking about this, his 40-yard dash. He's 6'3", he weighs 228 pounds, and he ran an unofficial 4.44. So just for comparison, you say to yourself, well, just how fast is that? He ran in the 4.4s. It's really fast. If you take a look at the official NFL Combine 40s by quarterbacks going back to 2006, the only one who ran faster was RG3 nearly 10 years ago. Now, just to be very clear, Lamar Jackson didn't run at the Combine. Kyler Murray didn't run at the Combine. It doesn't include them. But that's just to suffice it to say, he's unbelievably fast. And this is Matt Miller here, who is our draft analyst extraordinaire. Matt, what did we see? For those who didn't watch it and didn't follow the conversation yesterday, how did everything go for Justin Fields yesterday, and what did it mean?
Yeah, Greeny, it went exceptionally well, and it's unfortunate that it's not getting maybe as much hype as the Zach Wilson Pro Day did last Friday, but not just the 40 time. This is exceptional. To run a 4.44 at almost 230 pounds as a quarterback, you show the numbers. That is unprecedented. But let's go back to the throwing, because that is actually what Justin Fields does best and what he did best for Tears at Ohio State. We saw him throwing, yes, the short routes. We saw him stretch the field. This ability to go opposite, roll left, launch the ball down the field. There were throws where his guys were not waiting on the routes. He's throwing on time. He's throwing with velocity. I've said it before. If you want me to bet on the quarterback in this class who's the biggest, strongest, and has the best speed, well, that's actually Justin Fields. It's not Trevor Lawrence. It's not Zach Wilson. If we're talking about athleticism and arm strength, Justin Fields is the top in this class. Yeah,
I mean, it's been a weird year, Desmond, and obviously you cover it for us all through the season. It began with Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields sort of neck and neck, and then Lawrence ran away and hid, and now we're talking about the possibility that Fields will be the third or the fourth or somehow even the fifth quarterback in this draft. What do you see, Des?
Well, Justin Fields is a great athlete. He's, we knew, at least I knew, going into the pro day, he was going to clock a fast time. I mean, he's just been a tremendous athlete since high school. So that didn't really surprise me. Now, obviously, at 225, almost 230, moving that fast, I can see where a lot of people were shocked. And then he can make a lot of throws. There's no doubt about that. This kid was like a five-star recruit coming out of high school. The issues, Greeny, comes into play when you start to break down the 2020 film and look at the games against Indiana, the games against Northwestern, and then you try to figure out, okay, what did you see? What was going wrong, and why did you play so bad? Why did you throw all these interceptions? As far as being on the field in shorts, he can make all the throws. He's going to woo you with his athleticism. But when it comes down to playing the quarterback position, let me make sure that people understand this, Greeny. This is a conversation because, like you said, he's in a position now where they're talking about drafting him as a second, maybe the third or fourth quarterback, anywhere in the first round. When you're talking about drafting a kid that high, then this is when you start to split hairs. Now, if you're talking about stealing him in the second round or third round, then you're not having this type of conversation. So I think that he served himself well yesterday at his pro day, but when he has to sit down at the board and start to explain things that went wrong in the 2020 season, then that's when you start to really figure out what type of player Justin Fields is going to be at the next level.
And so, Diana, let's try and figure out what we think we know here. So when the 49ers trade up to number 3, a conventional wisdom is that means they know that the Jets know who the Jets are going to take it to. That's what a lot of us sort of put two and two together and figured that's what they know. What do we think we know at this point, Diana, from the people you talk to? What do we think we know about the quarterbacks in this draft at the very top of the first round?
Yeah, it certainly doesn't hurt that the San Francisco 49ers also happen to have a great relationship with the head coach of the New York Jets, with Robert Saleh. So you know there's a lot of communication. But here's something I learned long time ago covering this league. There is nothing certain in terms of what teams are taking and who they're taking when it's the end of March. Historically, look back at the draft. Look at the players that we've teams and quarterbacks with. It usually changes and evolves over the weeks leading up to the draft. So while we think the Jets are going to take Zach Wilson, that's what we're all assuming, I wouldn't say it's a certainty at this point, Greeny.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.